if you spot in any bugs, vulnerabilities, please share it with us. Let me put my name into the minutes. And as usual, we go to the vulnerability review and open SSF scorecard, and then we discuss the Windows integration for policy. For the Node.js dependency vulnerability assessments, we don't have anything since last week. We have the latest NPM version that got merged, I guess. And basically, last week, Matteo replied to that issue that the vulnerability is a false positive, and this is there is no way that that vulnerability could affect Node.js environment. So I'm put the label don't doesn't believe affect Node.js and don't fall with no threat model. Amazing. And then we go to the OpenSSF scorecard. Let me check. We have one issue open, and things has not changed except for -04 for the nodejs.org. Um, and the reason was because of code review. I think that's kind of expected because I believe in terms of releases, if someone else doesn't approve, we need to land it anyway. So we just skip the approval button.
Yeah,
So I
we are
think that's
progressing
okay.
from that. So it's like we are recovering right now from that. So
Okay.
hopefully soon will be all the points for that. Yeah.
Okay. So let me approve. Is there a pull request open?
I think the pull request has failed in the creation.
Okay, no problem.
But yeah, I can rerun it just after this and see what happened.
Okay. And then we go straight to the Windows policy integration. Robert, do you have anything you want to discuss?
Just a couple quick things. I just wanted to attend the meeting before the year ends, and like I won't be able to attend the next meeting, so it's going to be about a month before we see each other again. So just wanted
Mm-hmm.
to sync on that. So I've gotten a lot of good feedback on the pull request, and I've taken my time to implement it. The most recent thing that I did, which is I'm building and testing right now, is isolating kind of the builds to Windows or for building the C++ stuff on Windows only because it's only a feature supported on Windows at the moment, and then moving the stubs out of the kind of C++ boundary into the JavaScript boundary
Yeah.
for the stubs on Linux and Mac. So I've done that, building the changes now, testing them. The other major piece of feedback that I got that I'm not incredibly familiar with like a lot of the underlying tech in Node.js,
Mm-hmm.
but one of the requests was to add or make this code integrity API snapshotable, and I'm assuming they meant something along the lines of V8 snapshots. I'm not entirely so I started looking my way down that to familiarize myself with kind of am I making sure
Can
that I'm
you
understanding
can you link me to
yeah.
the comment
Let
so we can check?
me let me pull that up for you. Sorry. One sec. This is a great time for my internet to be really slow, isn't it? All right.
Okay, it's from Yagis, right? We should avoid
Uh,
using global variables and use snapshotable API.
I believe that's the comment. Yes. Uh,
Um, I believe that you don't need to have that. Uh, I don't know for
mhm,
which reason we would need to have that snapshotable API because
mhm,
considering that this code will only be built on Windows and only when the user asks, because I believe that the first um, we could land it first with
mhm,
a compile flag, and
mhm.
then once we land that and we check, okay, that's feasible to be upgraded to the official binary. then we can think about the snapshotable API. But even though I don't think we will need that, because I don't think that will be necessary. Like I don't see a reason to use the snapshotable API.
Okay.
Um, I think at this point, I would just move all the code as he mentioned to a separate scope, and then you have
Mhm.
a if define if Windows and the compile flag has been passed like an environment variable, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Then you include that code, and then you basically the if def is just import a module, import the C++,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
that will work. And then we will be able to test it because my main concern is about
Yeah.
reading from every time
Yeah.
you attempt to read a module or a file, it will ask the Windows if it has access, and this will be a synchronous
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
And
It'll be a synchronous blocking operation. So
yeah,
I can
and
see
it.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm really curious too, kind of what this looks like, because I've tested it with like small apps and stuff, and like to me as a user, just clicking around the UX, I haven't noticed much of a difference. But like
Mhm.
once we get this on, like if people are using this in production, like I'm sure
Uh-huh.
they might be more concerned
And
with
and,
it.
I-
So
and
yeah.
I am wondering other edge cases. For instance, whenever you require a module, we store let's say that we require a module, the Windows check if it has permissions, and if it
Mhm.
has, it will load the module. Once it's loaded, we cache that module. And even if the people remove the permission to that specific module or location, this is already cached. So if you try to require, it will be bypassed, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a interesting concern. I don't think that fits into the threat model of what this is designed for. I think that's just a known limitation of
Okay.
it. But if it becomes a larger, if you feel like it's a large enough concern, I'll kind of
No,
raise
no,
it with
it is
the
not. I'm
internal
just
team.
trying to, because one
Oh,
thing we
okay, yeah,
need to define
yeah,
is
definitely,
which is or what are the target of this
yeah,
feature, which people would like to use that, because I don't know if people would use that in production because of
mhm,
the performance concerns. And thinking about in development mode, um, would people use that for some specific reason? Because considering they are using Node.js, every time they do a npm install and that package contain a post install script, basically it
yeah,
can do anything they want, you know? Um,
yeah,
I think this would be great to have clarified like the target of
hmm,
this feature. And
okay,
then I believe that if you create a binary which we can test using a compile time flag, that
hmm,
would be great. So I could test and see how feasible it is considering the target you be writing. I think
hmm.
that that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I'll make sure to start addressing that. And one thing that was kind of that came to my attention while I was looking into snapshots. So, correct me if I'm wrong here. If there's someone else that would be able to answer it better. But a snapshot is like a sort of pre-compiled blob of JavaScript that is loaded directly into the heap. Is kind of what I understand it to be.
Yeah, that's
Um,
my understanding as well. But I think the main person to ask is Joy.
okay.
Uh, I was reading this code yesterday, and basically, if I understanding correctly, every time you ask VA to run a module or to compile a
Mhm,
function, a module, you need to also pass the source code. But before
mhm.
that, we also have the code caching for the snapshots, if I remember correctly, and then we can skip some lot of V8 calls and things like that. But
Okay.
this is just an assumption, and I might be completely wrong. So I believe asking Joy or
Okay.
even sending a message on the Node core channel in the OpenJS Slack would be a better option because we have more
Okay.
people looking to that.
Okay. Sounds good. So the Node core channel or in the Node.js Slack.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll do that then. So yeah, that's all I had in terms of kind of updates for that and questions that I have. Looking forward to hopefully getting this PR wrapped up as soon as possible. But it's up to kind of we'll see what the holidays do in terms of
Mm-hmm.
time I'm able to commit to it. But I'll definitely by the time the next meeting rolls up, I'll have like a major iteration on it done. But appreciate your help and guidance in all of this.
Okay, amazing. So I think the next items in your agenda are like very fast to talk about. Basically, adding a warning to end of life versions. We are going to do that. Basically, uh, we have a blog post ready, and this will be released right after the holidays. We are informing our users that we will issue a CV for all end of life releases of Node.js, not all, I believe, since Node.js 16, I guess. And we informed, okay, we will write this blog post, we will publish the blog post after a week or two. We will issue the CVEs, so they will receive their security scanners will point in, okay, you are using a vulnerable version, please upgrade. This is an attempt to make users upgrade their versions, because looking to the history, if you plot the graph of download history of Node.js, you see that a lot of people are using end-of-life versions. And if that doesn't work, we are going to release, this will happen only for the next end-of-life version, and then so on. We will release a patch version a month after the release, the end of life, emitting a warning whenever Node.js is executed. So this will be also another way to make users upgrade their versions. But the last one is still being discussed today. It's not 100% sure we are going to do that. Okay. The Node.js threat model, we won't discuss it, but I have opened a pull request to the Node.js threat model, to the Node.js security repository, adding the threat model. I don't know. Okay, this is the pull request. Let me add to the minutes. Um, okay, next line. And basically, we are upgrading or publishing the initial threat model, and we are still developing it in the meeting. Very good. And the next one is audit build for dependencies, but I believe Michael is the one that is on charge of this initiative and has no update since last meeting. The extended security support is basically the add a warning to end of life versions. I believe at this point we can just drop from the agenda because Marco has not joined since the last meeting as well. So I will just drop it from the agenda. The automate security release process, we are doing a lot of work, to be honest. It's even hard to talk about, but we have two requests open that will make the staging branch happy, so we can use the automation. We have automation now to create the proposals, and the next step is to upgrade it to the security releases. So a lot of progress, and that's the end of our agenda. And I would like to mention, I would like to say thanks to everybody that has helped us over the year. We did a lot of initiatives, and I'm pretty sure we have improved the Node.js security scope. So I hope to see you all in the next year, and that's it. Does anybody have anything else to say? No? So that's the end of our meeting, and see you next year. Bye bye.